So I take it you forgot to pay the lecky bill again?
What? What's up with them?
I think they're brilliant.
Yeah, they are pretty wicked, aren't they? Look, look, look. Ha 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 ha. Awesome. Right, anyway, shall we get on with selecting a film?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, so, Star Wars, Force Awakens.
Love it.
Oh, actually hate it now. We won't review that this week. What about, let's not see all these things. What about that? Batman movie.
Love it.
I hate it, I'm gonna do it. I can't be arsed. Right, okay, everybody is going to love this, the theory of everything.
Not seen it.
Right, well, it's fucking pointless us reviewing it then, isn't it? Right, what else? You are being difficult today, you really are. Right, District, can you read that?
District 9.
District
Love
9.
it.
Oh, I hate it. Well, I don't know if I hate it, I just can't be asked to do it. Everyone's favourite, Les Miserables.
Hate it.
Love it.
Hate it.
What's your issue today? Right, is there any others to read?
No. Well, that's enough of that.
Oh, right. Well, if we can't love it, if we can't hate it, I'll tell you what, right, can we just give this one more go and tell what I'm going to do? Ha ha!
What the
Show all about films, good, bad, and today, fishy.
Yeah, films, whether you love them or hate them, this is the place for you.
Yeah, and today we are reviewing The Shape of Water.
Yeah. So we mentioned it before in our Oscars show and we gave it the thumbs up. So yeah, it was the film that we also agreed deserved the Oscar for Best Film. We said then that we'd review it, so here is the review.
Here we are indeed. And yeah, I mean, we caught up on it fairly recently. We caught it late, admittedly.
Yeah.
We knew it was something that we were both going to like. I've watched it probably about 3 times now, actually. And Pete, of course, caught up at a later date. And
yeah, we watched it together so we could review it for this, and you'd already seen it beforehand anyway. So, I mean, I think it's safe to say it's a definite love without fail. And lots of things to love about it as well.
That's it. And without giving too much away, a little bit of a backdrop for those who maybe aren't in the know. The film is revolved around maybe sort of 40s America. What was that, the actual location as well? Because it was quite sort of ironic, Boston-y sort of area, was it not?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but
50s America.
But nonetheless, it's based on a secret facility that receives a new delivery, which happens to be Swamp Man-esque unknown being,
merman type thing.
Yeah, and then cue your other protagonist within it, Sally Hawkins, who, of course, this is the reason that we did the. And I will say, sorry, very poor BSL intro. Please don't expect it for any other show.
We're just paying homage to Sally because she's mute in the film. She can't speak, and her way of communicating is through sign language. So we have to give a shout out to our sign language coach, Joe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Because I'll be honest, I couldn't have fucking learned it otherwise. I'm terrible with my hands and whatever else, but I couldn't even learn the swear words. That's saying something.
There you go. It's
the first thing that you learn.
People learn in other languages is always swear words.
That's it. So Kudavar and well, we won't go there. That's for another episode. But sorry, back to the premise. And Sally Hawking. I'm going all over the place this evening. Sally Hawking is a cleaner within the facility. Stumbling on said fishman and a bit of a story ensues.
Yeah, so a love story at that. So she falls in love with him.
Fish love?
Reference, yeah. There's reference to him being godlike without giving anything away. There was no real backstory for him. It was very short, his backstory. A little bit more about hers, which does give you a bit of a clue leading on to later on in the film. But we won't give away any spoilers. But definitely her backstory is something to look out for. And brilliant acting, brilliant directing from your favourite Guillermo. We've mentioned him many times before in other reviews.
That's it, yeah, and especially, my God, he's employing the same cast. So Doug Jones plays the creature, Fantastic at every role he's in. Such an underrated actor, and it does piss me off slightly because he's always the last to build. And maybe he's a humble man, I don't know, but he's known as a sort of contortionist. He's quite skinny. I think he's got some records, but the transformation that he goes through in hair and makeup is astounding. My God, you see it in Pan's Labyrinth, in Hellboy, of course. He plays Abe Sapien.
Very, very similar type creatures. Both eat eggs. And,
one
both,
rotten and one fresh.
And facially similar, obviously from body similar as well, because it's played by the same character doing very similar movements. So there's a huge similarity with that. But I hasten to say, it is not the same character, and this character is, in my opinion, better than the one from Hellboy. So, because Hellboy, at the end of the day, although it was a good film, it is based on a comic, and it wasn't meant to be a serious story. And this definitely is a serious story.
Yeah, this is it.
Even though it's quite based in what we would say could be fantasy. But who knows? Maybe they have caught a merman once. You don't know, do you?
This is it. But then even sort of going on the Doug Jones thing of Abe Sapien, interestingly, the evolution of him as an actor in Hellboy, the first one was David Hyde Pierce to get a big name out there. So Doug Jones was the body, and David Hyde Pierce, sort of did his phrasery, I'm posh American, but I sound British somehow, voice. And then they let him run with it for the second. Guillermo went, actually, you know what? On your own credit, you're a good actor vocally as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and he played the pale male in Pan's Labyrinth, which, caption there. My God, a fantastic creature, but so scary. So scary. Really the eyes and
yeah, almost like choreography, isn't it?
Yeah, but going on to the other little Easter egg there, little tenuous link of eggs. There's of course rotten eggs in Hellboy, and in this one, very fresh eggs.
And don't forget your egg timer.
Perfectly timed.
Yeah, we won't go into too much of why she uses an egg timer, but it's not always to see how long it takes for the egg to boil.
That's it. But we certainly saw the shape of water. We saw the shape of water around many things, around our lovely protagonist. Brilliant scene, I've got to say, especially to the sort of...
Are you referring to the scene with the rain on the window, or are you referring to a different scene?
Please
say the rain on the window.
All I'm going to say to you is, how do you like your eggs in the morning? Clearly with a flicked bean. Boom.
Why not?
Yeah, but it was a funny little ad lib, and then later on there's a reference to why cornflakes were indeed invented to stop a person masturbating.
That's in the film as well. I don't know how true that is, but anyway.
It sounds like the kind of thing they would have said as propaganda in 1950s America somehow. Kids, focus on your work now. Now, good children eat cornflakes in the morning to stop themselves from committing the devil's sin. Yeah, that sort of, mockumentary. But fantastic scene. She clearly likes a bath with a bit of matey in.
I think she does. So, moving swiftly on, we briefly said about the scene where she looks like she's controlling water whilst on the bus with the rain against the window of the bus. One of your favourites, of which there's some good bits to the film, good scenes, good cinematography all round. As we said, looks like it's based in 50s America.
It's simplicity
it's really good film. Good film.
Simplicity and complexity at the same time, because this particular scene where the exterior of the bus, it sort of zooms in a little bit Audrey Hepburn at some points, I felt as well. Very.
You can see that.
You had this sort of classic cinema beneath her sort of apartment, which we have got a couple of little bugbears. Let's not grease this up too much. For example, the flooding of the room. There's an interesting moment where, as I say, without trying to give too much away, they attempt to flood your typical sort of New York-y apartment, but above a cinema, if you will. So, for film buffs out there, think Inglourious Bastards sort of setup.
Yeah, that type of cinema, and they're in the flat above it, which they fill the bathroom up with water, but in reality, that would have gone straight through. That amount of water would have gone straight through the roof of the cinema and sunk everybody below.
That's it. I mean, I was sitting there saying, you know what, there's no amount of sealant is going to do the trick with that. You know, Jesus, the amount of damp proofing you need these days to get a house sorted, and yeah, apparently they had it right with a few wooden rafters. There's only going to be a little bit of water comes down into that cinema. Yeah, and that poor sod as well, because once again, without giving too much away, slightly intimate scene going on.
Yep.
Yep, and there's a lot of. It's a lovely thing actually, because it's a love story of the swamp man.
Yeah, that was a good. Even though you know what the reason behind them flooding the room is, but it doesn't. It's not gratuitous in any way. It is very nicely done. It's very very good scene to show how much they do love each other.
Yeah, that's it. There's a bit of an embrace, and he glows in it, which nice little thing. But what can I say? Twilight tried to do it. They fucked it.
Yeah, we don't mention Twilight.
No. Thumbs down. May do a hate review on it at some point, but today we're feeling the love with this. It was a genuine feel-good film. Feel good to the point where they added some little bits that were a bugbear for you, and just to go into that moment. Cue the music,
No, we don't do that. What? We're not doing any dance numbers here. Definitely not. And you've got 2 left feet, so don't even try.
I've been known as the Fred Astaire of my generation, the hairier version. It's all gone wrong for me.
Good. So in the film, there is a scene which they do a big song and dance number.
Yep.
And for me, it didn't work. I know why they did it. I can see why they did it. Throughout the film, she shows her love of old school musicals and dance films, and she does a little dance with her friend whilst they're sat on the settee, very much like this, watching a film. But then, in her imagination, this scene comes in, and it's to show the audience just how much she actually does care for him and love him. But it just didn't need a big song and dance number in the middle of it.
This is it. But then again, you know what? The lovely thing is they incorporated dances of all kinds. Sit down dancing to Carmen Miranda. I mean, a cha-cha-cha. That song, it really, it resonates in my head. Can we just get a little... How does that not cheer you up? Seriously? Seriously?
Hey,
okay, fair enough. But, yeah, all in all, good film. There were also some intricate sort of violent parts in it, and once again, Del Toro, you think Pan's Labyrinth. Now there was a very, very interesting thing that he did in terms of there was an injury within it, and it involves being shot in the face. Now they did it with the Lieutenant General, Colonel, whatever lead baddie in Pan's Labyrinth, and it's a very specific. It's a shot through the cheek.
Yeah.
And once again, trying not to give away spoilers, there was a bit that made Pete a bit pale.
Yeah, it was a gratuitous moment, but even though that was gratuitous, he does do it really well. You know, he is good at that. So it wasn't over the top. It was graphic enough to make you go and fitted in with the character and the way he would have done that sort of thing. So yeah, it was good. And the guy that plays the bad guy,
the antagonist, yeah,
I don't know his name. He was General Zod in Superman, but
also in Pearl Harbor, was he not?
He was indeed. I think
he
it
was
his first role.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is great. I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad film. We'll put his name at the bottom because I can't remember it.
Name below. As you can see, we do an awful lot of research. Mind you, we've been spending our time learning film. This is film. Yeah.
You'll never forget that, will you?
No, absolutely.
So, summaries then. I think when we did the Oscars, I think I gave this. I think it was 8 out of 10. Very good. I'm gonna up that. I'm gonna go 8.5. I really enjoyed it. And I think that she should have won Best Actress, but Sally Hawkins, but she didn't. Yeah. But we've already mentioned that.
Sign language is not easy. No. We'll say it again.
So yeah, overall, definite love, 8.5.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was sort of quite a thick character plot. There was some gore in it, particularly as well to do with snapping of fingers. which, I tell you what, if there's
Nasty.
anything to put you off with your sausages, walls, fingers. Done. Likewise, there were some things that rustled my jimmies a little bit, and another one I felt was the music. There was a rehashed piece of music, and once again, now that particular segment, I will play in the next one. That particular segment was featured in Indiana Jones and The Shape of Water. Tell me the difference between them. There's not an awful lot. There really isn't. But that was something that every time I heard it, all I could think of was Raiders of the Lost Ark. So sort out your soundtrack, although the Carmen Miranda-esque stuff and all the nice little sort of Frenchy music things, the Audrey Hepburn, old cinema references, thumbs up.
Yeah,
so I think I'm going to have to go on more of a 9.5, up a solid. It can't quite be the perfect movie, but
I think 9.5 is strong.
yeah.
There are bits about it that you don't like. Give a 9.5 if you love everything. But anyway, it's your score. It's your choice.
Yeah. Well,
strong score as well.
yeah, absolutely. Well, what can I say? Oh, and here's a little joke to end with. You know, bird's eye fish fingers. So fish sticks. Do you like fish sticks?
I didn't say yes, but I feel I'm going to have to.
What are you, some sort of gay fish? Fish sticks? Fish sticks.
See what you've done there.
See what we did there, little South Park throwing. But, sorry. Lastly, I do want to do a couple of shout outs within this episode.
Yeah. So thank you to everybody that's watching. The usual. Simon, always a good man.
Absolutely. And a couple of newer viewers on board, but people that have actually shown support throughout. So as I say, our BSL interpreter, Joe, thank you very much. I also want to say thank you to Kev and Maggie, who no doubt are going to end up watching this episode.
I hope so.
Yeah. As I say, they watched the Last Jedi review, found it to be quite good, so happy days.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
I say, get on Twitter, get on the website, leave a like, subscribe, show the love.
Go on Love Hate Films and write your own review, especially if you've seen The Shape of Water. Tell us what you think, because I'm sure you ain't going to give it a 9.5.
That's it. But we will be coming back at you soon. We're not too sure on what the next review's going to be, but we're going to have some fun with it, I feel. We are going to have a little bit of fun with this next one. I'm excited.
I think, not to give any spoilers away for this, but one of us is going to love it and the other one's going to hate it.
And that's how Love Hate Film works. But until next time, guys, may the force be with you.
De vous à moi, vous m'avez vu.